Howdy folks, Grok the Duck Farmer here, and I'm on the Nemasauce server, and let's take a look at my base. Last time I showed you my base here and took you inside to show off some of the parts there. Well, I'm going to show you some of the other stuff that I've been doing recently. I said that I've been busy doing things, needed a whole bunch of oak. Well, I don't need so much oak anymore, but I'll give you an idea. One of the things that I like doing here, there's not much by way of neighbors around, but I do like, building down here on the ground. But more than that, I like building up in the air. Way, way up in the air. In fact, I like building as close to the build limit as I can. This is what I've been building recently. A ginormous tree that for some reason has kind of ripped up out of the ground and taken the buildings below it with it. You can also see where the roots have kind of grown around and in some cases into the buildings. But this is what I've been working on for the last little while. What you can see, everything along in there, including that creeper. Okay, maybe not the creeper, but everything that you see here I have placed or caused to grow. Like the vines and things like that. This is something I enjoy doing. I enjoy making floating islands, and I showed off one down there. That little guy right there is a floating island. This is a much, much larger one, and you can see where the tree has kind of grown through with some of its roots through the bottom of the island. These buildings are taken from Madness 64's excellent series of medieval buildings, and I thought they lent a nice feel to this. So I went ahead and borrowed those. I will put a sign up giving him full credit for the good work on that. I went through and changed the woods and did some randomization as far as the stone is concerned, just to make it look better for the feel that fitting in with this. And part of the question is, well, why do you do this? It's a good question. Partially because I enjoy making trees. They're fun to make. They're also fun. I enjoy making the islands, but it's a good fun build to try something that's really large and put some customization and make it look like it's hard to realize that this was placed block by block. Now, this right here, I have left this chunk right here so you can see the ellipse or the ellipsoid that I started with to put the framework of this, and then I went through and I either randomly placed leaf blocks on here, or some of them I went through and I caused trees to grow, either short oaks or large oaks, and that I left so that you can see the basis of what was there. Likewise, I made a 17 by 17 circle, and that was the base, and then grew the upper parts and the bottom parts around it. And if we come into a building here, there's still work to be done. I have a nice little hidden door to let me back into this area. You can see where I have cut back the roots so I can still get access into here. This right here is a trapdoor entrance into the bottom of the island, and you can see where all the work went into here. Now let's see if I can get into this. Underneath there is a magnum torch so that mobs don't spawn, but mobs do spawn. Up here I have my mob farm. I figured I had a nice space here up where the top of the tree. And yes, I placed all these blocks. I harvested so many leaves and leaves from different bushes, trees, and whatnot to put in here. Anyway, I have cursed earth that allows these mobs to spawn, and then I'm using there's a little bit of leaves in there. Then I'm using fans to blow the mobs into the center, where I have these grinders that will kill them and I'm harvesting their drops and their mob essence so that I can also spawn up there. I'm spawning occasionally some wither skeletons so I can get some wither skulls. I'm thinking that I might later do some more work up here, down there. I'm not quite sure yet. I do have an enhanced portal set up so that I can teleport back and forth pretty quickly. Some victims I have around here. So this allows me to dial to different locations so I can zip to my base down there and back up. So this is the inside of the tree. Let's hop out of here. Still need to do a lot more interior decorations on these buildings. I do have this guard tower has a name. It's the Miyazaki Street Guard Tower. Partially because the idea that I had for this came from the Island of Lapida, written by Jonathan Swift, and the Castle in the Sky anime movie done by Miyazaki and Studio Ghibli. This is a public portal, so anybody on the Nemasauce server who has a enhanced portal can dial this. The dialing code for this portal is Emerald, Golden Apple, Emerald. And you can just come in, and as you walk past the plate here, it will turn off the portal so other people can dial in. That way, people are able to come here and take a look and see what's going on. It's been a fun build. Just a few little tidying up details, and now I've got to wonder what's next. Well, blood magic, I think. This is a rough sketch I did on an index card to get proportions, and knowing that I wanted to be 63 squares across, since I wanted a center block. That gave me the width, and then I just measured it with a pen and said, okay, that's about the same height, and took a look at the rest and said it's about this size, and that gave me some rough ideas about the size of the island and the tree. Working on my mega build. You can see the big tree here. We got the buildings below. But what I'm working on right now is the landmass below. The conceit is that the tree, as it grew, just lifted up the entire land beneath it, and so I'm building a floating island. And I could just do a single kind of cone going all the way down, but that's really boring. So what I'm doing, you can see here, there's some ins and outs and ups and downs underneath here. If I pop inside, you can see underneath. I first start with a layer of dirt going around the outside. Well, one step even further back. I originally designed this island as a perfect center from the crafting station right in there. Perfect circle in the crafting station. And then I went through and said, it does not need to be a perfect circle. And I went through and added some and took away some and gave it a little bit more organic shape. Then I went around and I started adding dirt underneath, sometimes at the same level, sometimes underneath, sometimes sticking out, just to give it some differences. And I tend to go two or three layers of dirt, some going a little bit further down for variety, but that's pretty much how I set up the border. Dip underneath. Then I take smooth stone and I start dumping that around, working my way in. And as I get in to a nice little area, then to give it some variety, I'll build back up and back down so that we have some differences. And a simple way of building something like that, I'll drop a torch and then build off of the sides of the torch. And now, quick progress update. I've been working on the island a little bit more. I don't know if I explained it, but the conceit is that the tree is kind of growing down and around, and in some cases through the buildings here. But I've been working more on the underside piece. You can see how it's coming down a lot more. I've got a central peak here at the bottom, and here we go. Not much left to finish up. You can see that's pretty much done. Maybe 30 minutes to finish up the rest of this, and then will come the customization of making sure that it doesn't look just placed, you can see that kind of is very regular. Well, it's time to put some irregularities. I've got a few little drops coming down from it, but needs to look more ripped up and less organized and put in place. Oars will do that nicely, and just extra blocks in and out will also help. So that's what I've been busy with the last few bits. This has been Grok the Duck Farmer. Thanks for watching. Bye.